someone who is within the AES, we can tell them they can no longer go to Burkina, they can no longer go to Côte d'Ivoire, they can no longer go to Ghana. It becomes a bit more complicated for those who do their business there.
I want you all to type in the comment section, congratulations Wadamaya for becoming an AES citizen.
This organization, which was supposed to create mutual aid and solidarity, we have never received any help from this organization. No soldiers, no logistics, no compassion.
You might want to leave. And people are saying, isn't this a reaction to the fact that they don't accept that you allowed coup d'etat, that you are leaving and saying to yourself, well, since they don't accept it, we're leaving?
Coup d'etat are not done because we want them. It's this way of seeing things that needs to change. You agree with me that having these states in crisis to carry out a coup d'etat and take responsibility is very burdensome. But if we do it, it's because we have a desire to lead our people towards a certain sovereignty, because we know the origin of this crisis. And I think we should be supported.
This man!
Is this departure from Ecowas well thought out, Mr. President?
Never. It's over with Ecowas. We will never go back to join Ecowas again. Ibrahim Traore. My name is Xavier. You welcome to So and So. This is where we give you the update up to the happening within the Sahel nation. Okay. You know that Burkina Faso was part of Ecowas, that is the Economic Community of West African States. The countries within the West African region form an association 50 years ago, and Burkina Faso was part of that organization. But according to the laws in that organization, no country is allowed to have a military leader. And so when there's coup in any country, they'll force you to return to a civilian government. So when there was coup in Burkina Faso, Mali, and then Niger, there was a threat from Ecowas, especially the leader of Ecowas, who is the president of Nigeria, Bola Tinubu, that they should return back to civilian government. If not, he will send troops to those nations so that they should return to civilian government. If not, ECOWAS will send military forces to those nations to help the people return back to civilian government. This made, the Sahel nation, namely Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, broke out from ECOWAS, that is the Economic Community of West African States, to form their own regional body called AES. ECOWAS wrote to them to return, but they replied that they will never come back to join ECOWAS again. Now, a lot of people were, thinking that it's just a talk, they will come back to join later on. Ghana's President John Dramani Mahama went to visit the Sahel nation and then talk about ways that they will return back to join ECOWAS. So we were thinking that, okay, one day they will come back to join ECOWAS. But recently we saw them printing their own passports. They started talk to print their own currency, which is making their body more stronger by the day.
I want you all to type in the comment section, congratulations Wadamaya for becoming an AES citizen, because I'm holding the passport that you are looking for that you don't have. I am the first Ghanaian to have this passport. But anyway, I just want to educate you all. This is the AES passport. I mean, the baby that came out of ECOWAS. So this is for 3 countries: Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali. So if you're a citizen of these 3 countries, this is how your passport will be looking like. This is the Confederation coat of arms right in here, and that is the Burkina Faso flag. Now, Burkina Faso coat of arms right here. It has the same texture and feeling like our ECOWAS passport. But one thing that I really love about the Visa page is the fact that they're celebrating art and culture of these beautiful countries. It's just incredible, man. But this is Burkina. So if you have the one in Niger, this is definitely going to be the Niger flag in here, and also this one will be the Niger coat of arms. I want to introduce you all to the Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs. Your Excellency, it's a pleasure meeting you.
Nice to meet you.
Jemapel Maya.
So in this recent interview, Ibrahim Traore was asked if they will ever go back to join ECOWAS again. This was his response.
We know that Ecowas does not agree with the exit, saying, well, for us, we have learned again. I know that the letter was addressed to them. Do you still accept negotiation? Is it conceivable that tomorrow you might say, okay, we understand, we'll come back if you return to better sentiments? Or is it over, and we will never talk about it again?
We must not make certain mistakes, I just told you. Our path is a point of no return. Everything we do, when we decide to, that is, the chains we are breaking, it's forever.
So no more Ecowas ever again?
No, it's over.
If we get into this, and this is my last question, if we get into this, it also means that in some time you will tackle the currency, which is the CFA.
Probably. Let things come as they may.
It's almost inevitable, isn't it, Mr. President?
You know, in everything we do, it surprised you, didn't it? Things might surprise you again. It's not just about the currency. Everything that is a bond, that keeps us in slavery. We will break those bonds.
Thank you very much, Mr. President.
You're welcome. The chains we are breaking, it's forever.
So no more Ecowas ever again?
No, it's over.
Okay, never. It's done with ECOWAS. They will never go back to join ECOWAS again. And according to him, ECOWAS have a lot of cool leaders among them. Leaders that kill their citizens. This was a strong message from Ibrahim Traore. Watch this.
Do you feel that the military is more likely to solve these problems than politicians, civilians? Is that your feeling?
Anyone could do it.
But how do you explain that it's the military who are taking charge and saying we don't want civilians anymore?
No, the military didn't say we don't want civilians anymore. It's out of a sense of patriotism. When the nation is in peril, at some point, important decisions must be made. If it happens that it was the military who had the courage to make this decision, well, that's how it is. In any case, whether civilians or military, we are all children of this country. And anyone who is driven by this feeling of being able to liberate their country could do it. So, it's not a question of being military. Elsewhere, the military has succeeded. And here too, the military can indeed succeed.
So, Mr. President, what do you say to the ECOWAS leaders who say they are leaving because we said we don't want coup leaders among us?
There are many coup leaders among them. So it's not a question of coup leaders, it's just a facade.
When you say coup leaders, do you mean civilian coup leaders?
There are military coup leaders within Ecowas, who today claim to be Democrats. And there are civilians too. There are worse than coup leaders. There are those who kill, who silence their people in silence. Ecowas turns a blind eye, a deaf ear. There are plenty of coup leaders within Ecowas.
So Mr. President says, okay, we are leaving ECOWAS with immediate effect. Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali. We are leaving with immediate effect. Mr. President, this concerns a lot of people. What about the movement of people, your populations who are in an ECOWAS country, that you are leaving overnight? How is this going to happen exactly? Because the texts say it takes at least a year to implement all this. But here, you are saying no, it's over now. It's over now?
Yes. First you say the texts say, but they themselves have never respected their texts. It depends on who you are dealing with. That's what we have noticed. The sanctions imposed on Niger, they don't exist anywhere in the texts. So the first ones to violate these texts are these so-called Democrats. We are leaving, but we remain Pan-African. Anyone in Africa, an African who wants to come to Burkina, is welcome in their home, in principle.
When you say coup leaders, do you mean civilian coup leaders?
There are military coup leaders within Ecowas, who today claim to be Democrats. And there are civilians too. There are worse than coup leaders. There are those who kill, who silence their people in silence.
Okay, you and I know all these people that stay in power for long. We have one country like Togo that, one family, father and son, ruled the nation over 50 years and still counting. Now he's made himself the perpetual president of the country. When you go to a country like Cameroon, they have a 93-year-old man leading the country. Watch this video.
This man!
j'avais précisé que cet objectif devait être érigé en véritable cause nationale, notamment à travers notre engagement collectif à rétablir la sécurité, à conforter notre croissance économique.
You see, he cannot even talk, he cannot even walk. But look at the way the French president is happy to hug him, happy to welcome him. This man cannot even, walk the staircase, but he's been president. And so far as he's doing the will of the imperialists, they are happy with it. Those are the people that formed the organization called Ecowas. And then they are in leadership saying that you, a young person, you cannot lead the country because you are a military leader. This is the reason why Ibrahim Traore is calling these people. They are cool leaders. They have a lot of cool leaders within the organization, and then they kill people. This government, you cannot stand and talk against them. A country like Togo, you cannot speak against the president. You will be killed. These are the leaders forming the association. We call them the civilian government, but they don't do anything like a civilian. They are always oppressing their citizens. So according to Ibrahim Traore, it's over with ECOWAS. They will not join that organization anymore. Forward ever for the Sahel nation, and we are in support of the Sahel nation. They should continue just to fight for the motherland and the people of Burkina Faso, Mali, and then Niger. My name is Xavier. This is also and so out.